done? Now let's see how it looks so far.
What up, guys? It's Maelstrom, back with another one. And today, I'm going to be talking about living at home with your parents in your early 20s, because this is the situation I am currently in right now, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, because I know a lot of people going through the same thing. In fact, according to these statistics here, nearly 50% of Americans aged 18 to 29 are now living with their parents. 50%, and that is quite significant. Of course, I'm getting this from Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt, but even then, I feel like that number is somewhat accurate. I know a lot of people around my age who live with their parents still, just out of college or well into their 20s, and no shade in that whatsoever. Honestly, I think we need to get past the age of shaming people for living with their parents, because man, things are expensive, and honestly, I really envy, or I don't envy anyone because I'm in this situation, but I know people that have envied me for living with my parents, and I see why. I mean, I save a lot of money on rent per month, and I don't really have to buy food. I mean, I pay my parents for things, don't get me wrong, and I buy food, and I'll buy things for them if they need it, but I'm saving a lot of money comparatively, and I'll get into a little bit why in a little bit. But I live with my parents, and I commute almost 45 minutes, 50 minutes to an hour if there's traffic every day to work. It is not the most ideal commute. It is a doable commute, certainly, and I'm spending a lot of money in gas, but I would much rather spend the money in the gas than the rent, personally, because it is comparatively cheaper. So I tell people at work where I live, and I tell them I live with my parents, which they understand because I'm young. I'm one of the youngest people at my job. But I tell them whatever, and they say, "Oh my God, that commute is horrible. Like, why would you do that? You should just move." And that sounds like a great idea. But yes, I don't really have the financials to. I think if I was going to move out, in order for me to really be comfortable here, I would need at least one roommate who is also making a decent living, not unemployed, maybe a full-time job as well. And that's definitely hard to find these days. I mean, I had maybe a few candidates for people who I could do that with, but I'm not like the closest with some of them, and all my really close friends at this point, they're all at very different parts of their life. Some of them are unemployed, some of them are kind of working a job when it's kind of going nowhere, also trying to save up money. Then some of them are living with their partners of long-term relationships, like 5 years, stuff like that, and I'm currently not in a long-term relationship, so I don't exactly have that option. But some of my friends are doing that, and they can make it work because they could split the bill with their partner, but I don't really have that option at the moment. But yeah, living with my parents at age 22, it is definitely a weird feeling because I was just at college and I was living essentially on my own. I mean, I did have roommates for most of it. Some periods in college, I actually did not have a roommate, which was nice while it lasted. But I do miss that feeling of just being more independent, not telling my parents where I'm going, my comings and goings, when I'll be back, who I'm hanging out with. My parents definitely press into me sometimes for information on things, and sometimes I'm like, all right, get off my ass, but I know they're just doing it because they love me, and I appreciate that. But as you get older, man, your parents definitely get harder to deal with. You have clashes about certain things, certain social or economical or political things with them. There's just a big gap between generations in terms of societal norms, and I feel like sometimes I clash with my parents on that, or I have certain ideas or want to do things a certain way, and my parents want me to do it another way, and that's a big fight too, so that can get annoying. But at the end of the day, they let me live here, so I have to accept it for what it is. It's either I'm dealing with that and I get a big trade-off in the way that I don't really need to pay for anything, Or, I could go live on my own, have my own peace and quiet, but I'll be paying a lot of bills, including rent, gas, utilities, internet, electricity. Food is getting more and more expensive these days, and I'm not exactly the best chef out there. I know how to cook a few basic meals. I'm trying to actually learn how to cook a little bit more while I'm home alone on the weekends. My parents have another property actually that they go to a lot, kind of like a vacation home. So they're there a lot, and I'm kind of left to myself in this house a lot, which I really like. It definitely makes me feel more independent on the weekend when I have the most free time. But yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of it and just try to learn new skills, build some new hobbies. I am trying to cook more, which has been moderately successful, although I'm not a master chef. Anyway, so yes, you have to deal with that living at home. But it's a big benefit. You could save money. I am saving money right now and trying to, invest accordingly so that I may move out in hopefully the next, 3 to 5 years, I would think. Maybe it'll be shorter than that. It depends how much I could put up with it here, but it's okay for the most part. Just a very weird experience. I know a lot of people are in the same experience, and to anybody who is, hey man, I mean, it might suck at the moment, but I don't think it'll be this way forever. I'm hoping things will get better, although they definitely are on track to think otherwise. Rent prices are soaring. Home prices, don't even talk to me about that. I don't know how they want young people to buy a house. I just think it's very out of reach these days. And also, another thing I will mention, so I live very close and I work in Massachusetts. And Massachusetts is very expensive, and it's definitely not very economically friendly, I would say, to young people, unless maybe you live in the hood, which don't exactly want to do that. But yeah, here are some average rent prices I pulled from Massachusetts. So a studio on average is $23.42 per month, and you got to keep in mind here, the rents really get adjusted and really get averaged. I think a lot of it has to do with Boston, big city, and things are very expensive in Boston right now. But $23.42 per month, which is absurd. A 1-bedroom is $24.87, 2-bedroom $28.64, and a 3-bedroom is freaking $3,717 on average. Now, I know it really depends on the area you live in, and I'm even pulling this statistic here. So I work somewhat close to Worcester, and it's actually $19.24 average rent for a 1-bedroom in Worcester. So that's, obviously not great, but that is comparatively better than the average in the greater Boston area. And yeah, I mean, Worcester, not exactly the best city out there, not exactly a place I'd be just itching to move to, but at least there's things to do there, and it would be closer to my work. Not saying I'm going to move there. I really want to pay that rent price, but I'm really still trying to figure it out, guys. I think I'm just trying to save money, maybe put a down payment on a condo or something like that would be nice, in my opinion. So that's kind of my plan at the moment. Just live with my parents, save as much money as I can, keep grinding, and eventually I'll have to move. Yeah, probably closer to Massachusetts if I keep my job. It's just the situation I'm in, but yeah, that's kind of how things are going with that. Yeah. If you guys would like to hear more about this topic, maybe I could do another video centered around cost of living or rent prices, living on your own, benefits of living with your parents versus living on your own, what have you. Please let me know in the comments below. And thank you guys for watching. I know this is a relatively unscripted video, but I just wanted to get something out. New videos coming soon. Hopefully. But hope you guys enjoy your day. It's been Maelstrom. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I wish you a very nice day. Bye-bye.